welcome to another episode of inmimisbowl. Yes, hi, we are back. It's the second episode of this knitting series that I'm doing. Welcome back. I hope you're well. The elephant in the room is that I have moved out of the city into a small town that I like. I like this town so far. And yes, I have more space, which has been really good for me. And without further ado, let's talk about what I've knit in February. I've made some notes so I won't forget like last time. So I have 3 finished objects this month and 3 works in progresses. And for those who've watched episode number 1, know that I said I'm on this yarn buying ban, but I gave myself some exceptions, you know? I'll talk about it later. But let's start with my finished objects. Finished object number 1 is a pair of socks. I cannot believe that I finished this pair of socks, and I think within a week. Let me tell you how I did that. So I think in the previous episode I have only this bit because I wanted to do 2 socks at a time. I wanted to knit these socks 2 at a time, but I realized that that is not a good method for me because it's just too much of a hassle. So I started with one. I think it's this one. And then I went to Switzerland. I went to Switzerland with a couple of friends and we took the car. It was an 8 to 10 hour car ride. So basically on one car ride I knitted this one, and then the other car ride I knitted this one. And also while I was in Switzerland I did knit a bit, and my friends made fun of me kind of because I bring my sock project with me everywhere we go when we go hiking. I have a picture of me knitting a few stitches at the top of a hike, but I do have a story to tell. Which yarn is this? This is the Zauberball. 잠깐만, I'll bring the leftovers. So these are the balls. This is what they look like. So I have not touched this ball yet, and I have this much left over. So you can tell there's a lot of yardage in these balls. So I think with one ball you can possibly make 2 pairs of medium-sized adult socks. But the fun thing was, I wanted them to match with just one ball of yarn. So what I did was, is this the one? Yes. So I knit this one toe up. I started here. And then I used the No Frills Toe Up Socks by Athena Liu pattern. And then I just followed her pattern, went all the way up, cast it off here. With the stretchy bind off. Don't know if you can tell that it is a bit loose here. I kind of had to calculate that I was on the middle of the red, so then I have some red to go back to the blue. So in this sock I knitted it cuff down. Okay, the sun is coming in, so I might be a bit blinded. Anyways, so I knitted this from the cuff down. So I followed a different pattern to Kitchener stitches at the end here. But can you tell that they're different patterns? For as far as I can tell, I think the biggest difference is this heel part. This, I don't know what you call it. Is it the gusset? No, I think that's the gusset. Anyways, the heel flap is longer in the cuff down sock than in the toe up sock. But you can barely tell Let me try it on for you. Here they are. Woo-hoo. From this to this. I think it's pretty cool. Okay, I'll keep them on for now. So that was my first finished object. Finished it within a week because I had a lot of knitting time in the car. So next up, actually, do I have anything else to say? I do like this yarn. I think it does help that it changes color, so it kind of motivates you to want to continue. But I kind of expected the color change to be a lot quicker. So maybe for this leftover, I'm going to knit a hat so the circumference is bigger, so then the change is less gradual, if you know what I mean. But we'll see. The thing is, I also want to make some gloves with these because I saw on Instagram there are these like separate index finger gloves that look really cute, and they use the Zauberball yarn. So we'll see what I make with these. Okay, next finished object I don't have with me because I gifted it to my sister, but I do have the one that I knit for myself, which I've shown before. It is the Simple Thing scarf shawl by Melina Brell. It's a free pattern, and so I don't know if I said it in the previous episode, but this yarn is the DMC Baby Merino, and I bought it somewhere in France, and I wanted to knit a baby blanket for my nephew, but for some reason I did not do that. I did make him a romper, so I did make him something. Yes, so I bought 3 balls of this color, but also 2 balls of a baby yellow. And I decided to also knit the Simple Thing with that yarn. So this one has 3 balls of yarn, and that one has only 2, so it's a bit shorter. And also I did not block that version, so it also looks a bit more squished together, the stitches. And I gave it to my sister. She's gonna come later, so maybe I can put more pictures here, but for now I only have this picture of me right after I finished it. I realize I'm a pattern repeater. If I like a pattern, I'm gonna make a lot of them. So you will see in my whip that I use that pattern again. Anyways, then one more finished object that I have knitted this month is actually quite exciting. It's this hat. I followed the Musselburgh hat pattern by Ysolda Teague. I think it's already my 4th Musselburgh. But yeah, I really love the pattern. I mean, it's so famous and it's for a reason. And you might recognize this yarn, these colors, because they're the leftover scraps of this sweater vest that I made a long time ago. I think maybe even 2 years ago. So let me first talk about this vest. This is the Windowpane sweater vest by, what's her name? Forgot her name, but anyways, I'll put it here. Yes, so it's knitted with drops air, so it's alpaca yarn, it's blown yarn, it's super light, super fluffy, and it kind of stretched out quite a bit since I've knitted it. So I was kind of worried that maybe it's not really suitable for hats because it stretches out and then, you know, it doesn't fit anymore. But I just wanted to make a hat with it. So let me open it up for you. Ta-da! So I started here with the lightest color, and then basically when I ran out of yarn, I went to this one, which is the what do you call this, ribbing here, and then I went to the brown one. And honestly, it was really hard to know when to start decreasing because basically this is a scrappy project. I wanted to use up all the yarn, but you will see later that I did not use up all the yarn. So I decided to not make a cuff with it, you know, a hat with the folded brim. Let me fix this real quick. This is what it looks like. And it fits really well. So my head size is, I don't know, 55 centimeters. And I used to stitch count where there's 22 stitches per quarter. For people who have this pattern, they will know what I'm talking about. So yes, it fits really well. I'm very happy with it because I've had experiences of knitting the Musselburgh, but then it doesn't really fit, too big. But yes, practice makes better. You can wear it like this, but then that's the fun part about this Musselburgh hat, is that it's reversible, or you can wear it like this. Haha. I really love this yarn. I forgot that I really like the feel of this yarn. It's so soft. It's not scratchy at all. I find that alpaca yarn sometimes is too sensitive for my skin, but this one isn't. I think the only downside is because it's blown yarn, it can peel quite a bit. But I don't mind. It can peel. It's fine. And it's really warm, and I love how it looks. Ja. Ik ben blij. Yeah, I'm happy with this. And I actually finished it only 2 days ago. Yeah, those are all my finished objects. So mostly accessories. Then we can go into our whips. I also have 3 of them. Let's start with the biggest one. My goodness. Here she is. It is the off-grid sweater by Rose Knitwear. It's growing. Oh, I love stretching it out like this. So I think the last time I showed you this, I wasn't here. So I made quite some progress, and I've already separated the front and the back. This is gonna be the back. And because I've separated it, I have to knit back and forth now. I have to knit flat instead of in the round. And because you constantly have to change color, there's a lot of ends. It's gonna be a nightmare weaving these ends in at the end. But that's a problem for the future. I was at first intimidated by the wrong side, knitting the wrong side, but it's not too bad. Purling through the back loop, things like that, does not intimidate me anymore. So I feel like I'm leveling up, you know? So that's what I love about Rose Knitwear. She uses very unique stitch patterns, but then at the same time it's not too difficult. So if you want to improve or increase your skill level, I highly recommend Rose Knitwear. And the thing is, I've met her before at this knitting event in Amsterdam, and it's so nice to see the designer in real life. Yes, kind of starstruck. Anyways, I'm afraid I will finish this in the summer and then I cannot wear it. I feel like that's every knitter's problem. You start a winter project in the winter and then you finish it in the summer and you can only wear it in the next winter. But that's the beauty of this craft. It's slow. It gives you something to look forward to, you know? One thing to mention is that I made a mistake. You can barely tell, I hope. Let me look for it. And honestly, I don't care for mistakes when they're subtle. But yeah, I feel like it's gonna be my signature that no one that made this pattern have this exact version, because probably they did not make the same mistake. I don't know if you can tell, but here there is supposed to be this. Can you tell? Like you see the red and the blue slip stitches. I forgot them here and they're here again. So yeah, it's really hard to tell. So I really don't mind. I think it's just gonna be a unique feature of my version of the off-grid. So this is knitted with Drops Charisma. And I realized that this episode is Drops yarn heavy. But yeah, that is just a coincidence. But yes, I look forward to knitting this. When I was moving, I did not have the mental capacity to knit like a fairly intricate stitch pattern. I needed some stockinette. But every now and then I pick up this project and I enjoy it. Just need to make sure that I have a scissor nearby so then I can cut the yarn. So then I don't have like 3 different balls of yarn attached to my project. Okay, enough rambling about this. This will be a long one, but a good one. So 2 more whips. The next whip, who is in the team of plastic bag instead of beautiful yarn bags. Remember that I calculated wrongly how much Drops Charisma I needed for my off-grid sweater, so I had to buy more yarn. But I needed to buy some extra to get the free shipping. They always get you. So I bought 2 balls of Drops Sky. It is a baby alpaca and merino wool. And it's a chainette, is that what they call it? Kind of yarn. I just wanted to try it out. And guess what I'm making with it? Another simple thing. Very original. Yeah, I think it's my cozy pattern. The thing is, the pattern is the same, but the increase rate I changed. For this one, I increase every 10 rounds. And for the previous one, I increase every 8 rounds and every 6 rounds. So in a way, they are different. And also the yarn is different. So the finished product will look different. What I've noticed though with this pattern is that I tend to start it and then put it aside and forget about it. And then I knit my big projects, and then when I'm sick of it or I want to do something else, or I finish my big project and I need kind of a palette cleanser, I go for this. So this is kind of my palette cleanser knit. So it might take a while, who knows, for this one to be finished, but I don't mind. I don't mind things taking a while. All right, then the final whip. Remember how I said I did not finish all the scrap yarn for this hat? Yeah, Okay, let me tell you the story. When I was decreasing for this hat, I saw that I still have quite a lot of yarn left. I was contemplating, should I rip back and then make myself a folded brim? Will it be enough? But eventually I decided to not do that because I've tried to rip this yarn before and it's a bit of a messy experience. So this is what I have so far. And honestly, I don't even know what this will be. I did follow a pattern. Let me think. I followed the Manos del Uruguay Turban D pattern. This is what it looks like, but I'm not sure I have enough yarn to make a headband. But I started it anyways because I just love knitting with this yarn and I just want to use it all up. Anyone can relate? You just want to use up all the yarn you have? It just gives this accomplished feeling. And as I said, it's such a soft thing. It's such a soft yarn. So even if I don't have enough yarn, I think I'm just gonna freehand, ad hoc, do something with it to make it something wearable or functional. We'll see. So this is a fully creative project. Yeah. Okay, we're going to our final segment, my yarn acquisitions. I gave myself some exceptions in this yarn buying ban. It's okay. I'm actually it's March, like January and February I only bought. That's not true. Okay. So in January I had to buy the yarn for my awkward sweater. Then I bought this bonus drop sky. So I did buy some yarn in January. And in February I bought these 2 balls of yarn, but you can argue that I'm failing my yarn buying ban, but I feel like I'm already purchasing less than last year. So I'm happy. And as long as I'm happy and okay, then all is good. Okay. So when I was in Switzerland, I said, okay, I'm allowed to purchase 1 ball of yarn. Doesn't matter the size, the yardage, just 1 ball. So we went to the store and I bought this yarn. It is the Ysolda sock yarn. It has easy wash alpaca, easy wash merino wool, and recycled nylon. And the reason I chose this color is that it's kind of similar to this wall that we painted, kind of like this terracotta color. And to be honest, this color is beautiful. It's probably gonna be some socks, but I want to knit some textures or some lace or something other than a vanilla sock. And I do have a sock knitting book, so I might follow one of those patterns. Yeah, it's so squishy and I can't wait to try out some Ysolda because you see them everywhere, honestly, and I just want to try out yarn that I have not tried before. Okay, and then last but not least, there is this thrift store nearby, but it's not open every day. But the other week, I did not have to work on the day that they're open, so I could go, and I found this yarn. So this is durable cotton. I think it's quite a famous brand, Not sure if it's famous internationally or just in the Netherlands. It is 100% cotton yarn, and it was only €1. And I think it's in pretty good condition. It's such a basic. I think I either want to make another textured bucket hat crochet or a crocheted net bag or a tulip bag, you know, like something for in the summer. So that is the end of the episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. I look forward to March. I look forward to have space for my knitting because now it's just in a room with a bunch of other things. Take it. I can't wait to organize my yarn and to have a better overview of my stash so I can kind of plan for what I want to knit. But yeah, I also do enjoy going with the flow and going by intuition. And yes, this craft is meant to spark your creativity, and I don't want to put myself in a tunnel. Okay, I think that's all I have to say. I hope you have a good day and a good start of your March. Spring is coming. I hope you enjoy the sunny weather that is to come. And I'll see you then to talk about all my knitting in March. Okay, see ya. Bye.